3:20. Let's go and drink some rum. Well, hey YouTube world, it's been a while, probably about 4 or 5 weeks since my last video. Various reasons why. Been dealing with some personal demons of my own, mental health wise, and if you watch my last video you'll see I said that I was struggling really to come up with stuff that I thought was interesting and relevant, so yeah, it kind of just dropped off. We did throw a little trip to Disneyland in there, which was fun with the kids, and then I've kind of been busy focusing on a little project which I mentioned in my last video, Project X, which I'm kind of in a position to start talking about, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, let's get into it and catch up on the last few weeks. So for anyone that's new to the channel, welcome, thanks for watching. My name is Luke Garnsworthy. I am a recovering entrepreneur. I used to have a restaurant business which unfortunately went under in November last year, and since then I've been trying to figure a few things out and get back on my feet in terms of running a business. So this is kind of me chronicling the process, and also giving my boys something to look back on in the future and kind of see what we're going through in this early part of 2023. And for anyone that's watched some of the older videos and is back watching this one, thank you so much for sticking around with me. It's been a bit up and down, but with this new Project X, I'm very excited about. I'm hoping you're going to enjoy this content. So yeah, let's go. So if you saw my first few videos back in January 2023, I was in the process of planning to start a few businesses, about 4 businesses. There was the Cookie Slice company, the Etsy store, the content creation and web development, and I feel like there's one other, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, I quickly realised that was a lot to do and do well. The Etsy store never really got off the ground. I set it up and uploaded some content, but didn't really drive it and haven't done since. The coding course with Codecademy, I was really into until the content creation and the Cookie Slice kind of took over. And I haven't done that for a while. Content creation is still going. I still do fortnightly content for Crockers in Tring. I haven't really done a lot of my own content really for a little while. I've got loads of spirits right in front of me that you can't see for cocktails, and I just haven't got to it because of pesky old Project X. The Cookie Slice company is still going. It's still live. You know, it had a really good start, but without, you know, a lot of money to throw at the advertising, organic kind of sales dry up pretty quickly. I found the weeks where I really pumped money into Facebook, you know, I'd barely break even on the sales. And also, it takes a huge volume of cookie slices to make a nice little profitable business, which is doable, absolutely, but it just hasn't been scratching that itch that I've got for business, which brings us to Project X. So I keep using the term Project X. What the hell is it? It is a distillery. I am going to open a distillery based in the 3 counties. I'm still yet to finalise a location, but I'm going to start distilling from scratch and producing rum, and then eventually we'll move into other spirits, vodka, whiskey, brandy, basically anything that I can ferment and turn into alcohol. I'm gonna have a go at it, because it is driving me insane. I am buzzing for it, and it is scratching that itch. So yeah, I've spent the last 5 or 6 weeks looking into it, researching it, drawing up the most detailed business plan I've ever done, and trying to figure out whether it's something that I can do. Now, the reason I want to talk about it now is because I'm right at the beginning. I'm looking at sites. I formed a company. I've got a bank account, but there's so much to do to get to the point where you can distill spirits in the UK, that I thought this would be a great thing to document along the way. Basically, HMRC have all these fiery rings of death that you've got to jump through in order to legally produce spirit in an establishment. It isn't legal to do it in any volume whatsoever in the UK without license. And you have to give a business plan, you have to talk about your still, your processes, etc., safety. So there's about 8 things that I need to achieve and licenses to obtain before I can produce this product that I then want people to give me money for. So a totally different world to food, because I could do that at home, and obviously my background's in it. The reason I'm confident enough to kind of crack on with it is because it's a recipe, and I'm pretty good at following recipes. And I've done fermentation before in restaurants, so I kind of understand, your variables. And I've spent a hell of a long time over the last few weeks, months on YouTube. I've mentioned it in a video before how much I love YouTube for education, and I feel like I know the process pretty well now. I just need a chance to do it. So for those of you that don't know, rum is made from a sugarcane product. So it can be sugarcane juice, or generally sugarcane molasses, which is a sticky kind of tar-like substance. It's often used in agriculture, for feeding plants, also putting into horse feed, to make it more palatable. People put it into baked products to make that more palatable. It's basically just a high sugar derivative of sugarcane. So when they turn sugarcane into sugar, one of the byproducts is molasses. So you basically take that, add some water, add a bit more sugar, traditionally raw sugar cane or raw cane sugar. I'm going to be playing around with loads of different sugars, and see what the flavour difference is, because why the hell not? And then yeast. And again, looking into it, there's loads of different yeasts. So I'm going to try as many as I can, and see what flavour you get from it. One thing those people that know me from Crockers will know is that I don't generally do things how most people would and just follow the path that's already been set for me. I could have, when we opened the restaurant, I could have just opened a restaurant with 40 or 50 covers and just churned out yet another restaurant. But I chose a 15-seat chef's table, which is really bloody hard to make work and make it financially viable. And again, I'm going to take molasses because I have to call it rum, but then I'm going to break the rules and I'm just going to try loads of different stuff, loads of different combinations. And quite frankly, I don't care what rum heads and people that drink a lot of rum expect from a white rum. It should taste like this. I'm going to make something that I really like, and I do really like rum. So I'm going to kind of go my own way, come up with a really tasty product, a quality product, and then go off down some tangents. Obviously the world's your oyster when it comes to flavours, but I'm kind of thinking about, your traditionally spiced rum, your flavoured, so your fruits, so like your pineapples, a banana, thing like that. And because I love hardcore booze, definitely a navy rum. But then as I've learned from reading and watching various videos, the world of rum is just immense. Obviously you can make white rum, flavour it, whatever, put it in a barrel, leave it for 30 years and, see what happens. But there's also this thing called dunder, which is your byproduct from your first run through the still. It's this, black liquid, smells really yeasty, and you can basically take that, blend it with some of your made rum into an essence, and basically add that back into your finished rum, and it kind of gives you that golden colour that people expect. I think I've got a bottle of, there we go, like golden rum, so that kind of colour. Unfortunately it's not mine, it is Dunderhead, but also those deeper flavours, I assume, from the mash. So and then you can do things with that, flavour it, age it, all sorts. And then obviously, you know, I've been looking into all other spirits. I'm a big whiskey drinker. Obviously, I can't make Scotch because I'm not in Scotland, and there's so many different things that govern that. But I can make whiskey. I can't make bourbon because I'm not over in America. But I can get corn, and I can make a bourbon style whiskey. And then, you know, various different grains and wheats and things like that, make a vodka, but make a really nice vodka, because I hate vodka. It's tasteless, it's boring. It's, you know, it's something to add juniper to make gin, like, but why not have a go at making a really good vodka? And then every other bit of fruit under the sun, you know, from what I've been watching, if it's got sugars in it, you can add yeast to it, maintain its temperature, ferment it, and it will turn it into alcohol, and then you distill it. So I'm absolutely buzzing to get going. Biggest problem I've got is obviously the law and the fact that I need a distiller's license, a rectifier's license, which license me to redistill the product I've already distilled. So I'll take my fermented mash and I'll distill it. That's distilling license. I'll then distill it again to get the proof up. That's called rectifiers. And then if I want to add all these nice flavours into it, I need a compounding license. So 3 licenses to produce 1 potential product. Fucking bonkers. But anyway, just so you know, the language in these new videos will probably go up a notch. So if you don't like it, probably don't watch. And then, various other things. You've got to, you know, get them to approve your still. But if you don't have like an 18,000 litre still, which is just ridiculous, they may not like it, but you need a business plan. And there's a load of stuff. And it can take HMRC, they say on average about 9 weeks, 40-something working days to grant your licence. And there's never a guarantee that they'll grant the licence. And they may come back and forth with loads of questions. So it could be 3 or 4 months from application to actually granting. In the meantime, I have to commit to a lease on a property, because without that address, I can't do the license. I have to commit to quite a lot of money down on a still of large commercial size to make it a viable business for HMRC. So there's a lot of risk involved, but I'm more than confident that we can pull it off. So we're going for it. So where we're at the moment is I've viewed a site and I've put an offer in on a site. I'm not going to talk about where it is just yet until we secure it, and then we'll take the camera down and show you around. I'm also going to see more sites on Friday, because I'm not going to count my chickens and you know, until the eggs have hatched. I've got the company, I've got the bank account, I've got the business plan done. I'm confident I've got the funding, because obviously we all know I'm a broke, penniless, failed entrepreneur. So I am shaking my tin at my family at the moment, and potentially some other partners to come in and invest and be part of the business. But yeah, it's all really exciting. So as soon as I get an agreement in place on a site, that's the point at which all the license applications will flood into HMRC. So yeah, very, very exciting stuff. One thing I've found out, very interestingly, you know, as a consumer of booze, I didn't quite realise. On a standard, so 700ml bottle of spirit, this one just happens to be 42%, so let's say 40%, I will have to give HMRC, our wonderful government, £10 pretty much per bottle, just for the privilege of having a business and making that product. And then I've got to put VAT on once I get to a point, obviously. And then if I dare make any profit, I've then got to give them some of that as well. So essentially what I've learned is that a distiller in the UK is essentially a glorified tax collector that just gets people pissed. But I'm not going to be perturbed by it. You know, I really want to do this. I'm buzzing for it. I'm so excited. I don't sleep. If I do sleep, I'm dreaming about it. I can only liken this to just before we opened the restaurant. I was kind of planning that. I have that same level of excitement and energy, and I'm really am enjoying it. But being an impatient person, I just want to get going. And I'm checking my emails constantly, trying to look for a response from this landlord. But now I've got these viewings on Friday, so I need to wait for that. And you know, it's just mad. It's infuriating. So I'm not really putting much effort into anything else. It's all into this. So I'm sitting around waiting a lot, growing a beard badly, and probably getting fat again. But anyway, it'll be worth it. So yeah, I'm not going to put pressure on myself like I did before to say I'm going to put out these videos every Monday or whatever. I'm just going to, you know, maybe weekly, maybe fortnightly, maybe monthly, just, you know, when something's happening and I think it's of interest, then I might do some more shorts, maybe when I'm on site, you know, viewings and stuff, or maybe when we lock down a unit and then sort of show around kind of what we're doing. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching, and it's 3:20. Let's go and drink some rum.